Looking thinner than in previous court appearances, Paul Mikenzie, former taxi driver turned preacher.
So there's a dude named Paul Mikenzie who is just now being brought to justice because he was a cult leader and he's responsible for the deaths of hundreds of people.
Handcuffed, they filed out 94 accused, plus one, charged with terrorism, murder, and child torture and cruelty. A new trial now, the fourth and final. The charge, manslaughter.
So to me, that part is absolute madness. They did not have to include the manslaughter part. People might have died accidentally, but he wasn't unaliving them on accident. Useless charge, obviously meant to make sure that he suffers something, even if he gets away with it. But anyway, there was actually an article that came out by the New Yorker, written by our very own Alexis Okwuewa. Hopefully I pronounced that name some kind of correctly, who actually shared some very deep insight as to why the heck these kinds of things happen everywhere, but specifically in Kenya. Everyone hopes for a miracle. And in Kenya, where evangelical Christianity is so popular that the president frequently prays with preachers during official events, the more miracles a pastor performs, the more followers he will gain. And this article is actually extremely insightful. I'll make sure to link it down below. Hopefully you guys have Apple News, because I think it just comes straight out of Apple News. I don't know, my wife sends me this stuff. But listen to me, there was so much gruesome stuff happening in this place. It is extremely difficult to believe. I actually thought this is something that happened like generations and generations ago. Nah, bro, this dude is just being brought in like, what, 2 weeks ago? But watch a little bit more of this clip from Al Jazeera.
Over 400 bodies were exhumed in mass graves in Chakahola Forest. Mickenzie's preaching ordered starvation as the only way to make it to heaven. As he said, the end of the world was upon them. Autopsies revealed emaciated bodies, but also beatings and strangulation. His order was that children were to be starved and die first, then women, then men, and he would follow last.
There was a death order, a hierarchy of who had to starve first and last. That is some cold-blooded stuff. And believe it or not, he actually still has followers, which is probably the craziest bit to me. And even in this article published by the New Yorker, Miss Alexis actually gives some more insight about why this is actually happening. Listen to this excerpt from the article from the New Yorker.
The victims were mostly women and children. That is the bitter and sad story of Shakahola. Sebastian Muteti, who works on children's issues for the Kenyan government, said, "Many of the bodies that Karo saw were missing organs. They didn't have kidneys," he said. "They didn't have eyes. It's unclear why these organs would have been taken if they were." In an affidavit last year, Chief Inspector Martin Munene said that post-mortem reports have established missing organs in some of the bodies, and added that it was believed that trade on human body organs has been well coordinated. In response, Kindiki, the Interior Secretary, said the talk of missing organs was merely a rumor. But a police officer working on the investigation, who spoke on the condition of anonymity, told me that at least 200 of the bodies he saw, almost half of those recovered, were missing organs. Kidneys were being harvested, he said. Kenya's Interior Ministry did not respond to several requests for comment. James Karissa has been exhuming bodies in Shakahola since last year. He and other men dig up the corpses, put them into body bags, and transfer them to the hospital in Malindi.
But this gruesome story does not end there. They were not simply being malicious to adults, as if that would make it better. Children being ripped from their mothers. Listen to this excerpt.
"They came to our homestead and tried to take the baby," Remy said. "When the mother refused to hand over the baby, they hit it with a hammer on the head and it died immediately."
This blows my mind. It's some crazy stuff. It's good that they finally caught him. I can't believe that he still has followers. I hope and I pray he's brought to justice. It seems like that's what's gonna happen. I mean, how can you have justice other than the death penalty for being responsible for the murder of over 400 people? But hey man, we'll see what happens in this case. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button. And of course, subscribe if you like the content. Lastly, but never least, I am Hamza, and I make content about whatever the I want to make content about whenever I get ready to make the content. Enjoy your day.
Walking through the desert, I know that I am alone. So gone, I'm not strong. I try getting by. God.